Okay, today I started to think about how I should preach and how effective it can be. So I decided to do every time now that I do a video, I'm gonna be doing two topics so that are like alike with each other and can be used in everyday life and situations. So the topic for this one is friends and family. And then so I have some verses about friends and some verses about family that you can actually use into everyday life. Okay, so friends are always gonna be there. You know, a good friend is always gonna be there for you, no matter what happens between you and that friend, or or if you betray them or backstab them. So a good friend's always gonna be there, no matter how much you put them through or how much they put you through. So remember that that's a good ideal of friends. Okay. Um, I actually wrote, printed, wrote, typed up some Bible verses from onto the computer, and then I printed them so it can have a more clearing and understanding how it is in the Bible. Okay. So first I like friends are always gonna be there. Like they're gonna have your back. They're gonna talk to you when you need to talk to somebody. You know, they're gonna forgive you for if you offended them or if they offended you. If you're close enough with your friends and you have a good bond with your friends, then that's a good friend. You don't sell your friendship or don't throw away your friendship or okay. So I'm like in Proverbs 18, chapter 18, verse 24 says, "A man of many companions may come into ruin, but there is a friend who's just closer to you than a brother." So that's like me saying, okay, I can have like I'm gonna have a lot of companions, a lot of people come that can, hurt me or ruin me, but then a friend as good can is always gonna be with you no matter what, even more than a brother or a sister. So if a friend's like that, then that's a cherishable friend. You should always keep that friend because he's gonna stick with you or she's gonna stick with you no matter what happens, no matter how bad the days are, how good the times are, or what you're going through. They're always gonna be there for you because they they're a good friend. So a good friend is always a cherishable moment with your friends. So don't forget that. If even though if you're in high school and you have some guy that wants to be a friend or some girl that wants to be a friend, and it seems weird because this person follows you and that person wants you to be their friend because maybe you said something or you show them something that you're a good person, and then so now they want to be your friend. So now they may seem irritated at times, but don't look at it like that. That Just look at it like that person wants to be your friend. I heard a story where I'm not gonna say no names or nothing. So there's this person that goes to college, and she says there's this girl that follows hers and then calls her at her house and all that. And then, but to me, that just looks like she wants to be her friend and a good friend. She's been a good friend, so she calls her at home, you know, follow her, like she looks up to her. This person is not, she's just any ordinary person, but maybe she's made an impact on this person's life with what she talked to her about, and then that person looks up to you or looks up to that person. So just if you're not that type of person, then just might as well just tell them, okay, just leave me alone or something. But if you're like a friend, a good person, then you're gonna have at least one person that's actually gonna make you become their best friend, or they'll tell you you're my best friend. You helped me through the times that that I struggle, and you're a good person, so I look up to you, and I know I can count on somebody to help me out. So there's like I would love to have a friend like that, just follow me around, you know, and calls me to see how I'm doing, because always as even something small as a person or a friend calling you and asking you how your day was would always put a smile on my face. So if I had somebody come to me, oh, how was your day? I'd be like, okay. Well, eventually, this person actually cares about how my day is going. So, and then there's not a lot of people that gonna be like, oh, how was your day, or is there something that I can do for you? But at least if a person came up to me and asked me how was your day, I would be like, it was pretty good. So, I would see that this person is trying to, or probably wants to become my friend. So if you have that experience, just be thankful that you have actually somebody that's actually wanting to be your friend. Even maybe you weren't popular in high school, or you would hang out with the nerdy people. But then if there's a person like that coming up to you, just say thank you, God, thank you. Just thank Him, and thank God for actually somebody wanting to be your friend, because there's people around the world that are always like, okay, I don't have a friend like the other poor country. They don't, there's no schools. You know, they struggle. They're in a worse position than what we are. And then there's people that need friends and don't actually have the people that we have here in our schools and in our houses, in our apartments, at work, or everywhere we go. There's always gonna, you know, they're always gonna make an impact on somebody's life. So, just appreciate it. Okay. And then Proverbs chapter 27 verse 5 and 6 states that better is open rebuke. So I rather, be open, tell them exactly, tell them the truth. Don't be beating around the bush and hiding. You know what I mean? Don't be lying to them. That's not a good friend. If I had a good friend, I would never lie to my friend. I would always be honest with them and open, and if just be open about what you have, what you did in your, life and all that. Because I rather have a friend that committed a mistake but is honest than to have a person that looks as all, is a really good person, cool and all that, but then but all the things that come out of their mouth is nothing but lies. So I'd rather have a person that's honest and has done something bad in their life than to have a person that seems they're perfect but always lies. So, and then it says that was verse 5. Verse 6 says that wounds from a friend can always be trusted. So if a friend hurt you, you actually, forgive your friend, and then don't hold grudge against your friends. But a wound that's made from a friend can always be trusted, because you know that person for a long time. You grew up with that person. So the second part of verse 6 is, but pro but profuse are the kisses of the enemy. So I'd rather have a friend that you know caused me a wound than to have many kisses from the enemy. I wouldn't want the enemy kissing off, being around me, making me negativity, and so I rather have a friend that actually wounded me, and I forgave that friend, than to have profuse of kisses of the enemy. So that might be something to think about. Like I said, I'd rather have a friend that you know is honest than the friend that's lying, always being a liar. So I'd rather have honesty than a liar. So that's the only thing I have for friends right now. But like, hopefully you guys do understand what I'm trying to say, that about friendship. So it's important, love your friends, care for your friends, help your friends out when they need help, and I'm pretty sure that they will help you. Well, actually, I'm not pretty sure. I know that if you need help, then your friends are always going to be there to help you and comfort you in your times of need. Okay. And then now the next thing that I want to talk about is family. So, there's like today, first off, today, in these times, there's people that have, children at young age, at 21, 20, maybe even younger, you know, um, and it's hard because, once you have a child at a young age, you're not ready because you still, I'm not saying, to offend people or to, you know, to hurt your feelings or nothing. I'm just saying it's hard because I had my first child at 21, and then, I wasn't married, or, it was hard because, I would work like and provide for my child like a father should do, and then it would be hard because I would work double shifts and just to, pay the rent, the food, and um expenses for the baby, expenses for me, and my family that I had to provide. So, it's really hard to, have a child at a young age. And also it's because, if we're 21 and 20 and we're having kids, just think about how inside are we mature enough to to bring a life into this world. Yes, a life is a blessing from God, and a wonderful blessing, but we also gotta learn, like, are we, like, inside, are we mature enough to bring another life into the world? Are we already willing to be stable and, have a job and provide for the child? Because we can't, if you're not ready to have a child, if you don't have a job, if you don't have a place, you can, you don't necessarily have to be, have a place of your own, if you live with your mom, and if you live with your mom, and then, if you have a job, that's good. If you have somebody that can help you, if the father's not in there, then that's good. But I'm not saying to go out and go have a child at a young age, because we still have the maturity that if we're not mature enough, then how can we bring life into the world? We're not, we don't have the maturity in us. And then the second thing is, like, if you have a child at a young age, at 20, 21, or 22, young, I'm just gonna say youngest before you marry. That's all I'm gonna put it. Then, we're already changed. You have a responsibility. You can't always, you can't go out to with your friends. You can't go this because you gotta take care of the baby. Because there's some people that are gonna be strict about it, but they just want you to understand that if you bring a baby into this world, you have to have responsibility to take care of a baby. So, you're not going to be able to do the same things that you used to do with your friends, or go to the mall and to the movies, because now you have a baby. So, that said, is just like, if if you're thinking about having a baby at a young age, I'm telling you don't, because it's going to be way harder. You should have a baby after you're married, because, you're going to actually find somebody that, once you're married, then that person has been right for you and he's been faithful. So once you have a baby with that person after you're married, then it's you have more help. So you don't have everything on top of your shoulders. You're not carrying the whole load. It's half a load with the father of the child, and then with your husband, and then you guys gotta help out each other. Nobody can nobody can carry the whole load on their shoulders, because they're gonna fall, because it's gonna be too heavy for them. It's gonna be too hard. So just remember that if you're planning to have a baby, you should wait to get married. Okay. Um, and then in Ephesians chapter 6 verses 1 through 4, and I'm talking about family again. Okay, so it says children and parents. So family is obvious. It's child and the parents that brought the child into the world. It says for the children, you have to obey your father and your mother. So it says, verse 1 says, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. So if we don't like what we're, the things that our parents are telling us to do, and we get all mad and start throwing tantrums and start breaking stuff and start cussing at our parents, that's not, You know, that's not what the Lord is telling you. You have to, if your father tells you, okay,